are Nath and Hannah.
And this time, on Forward's Bucket List, we'll be doing a rundown on all the kit we packed on our trek to Everest Base Camp and back.
Yeah, every single item. So if you have your EBC trek booked already, or at least you're thinking about booking it, we will share our packing list with you guys to give you an idea on what you need.
Having successfully completed the 12-day trek back in April 2023 with G Adventures, we will cover the tips we picked up along the way, what we packed and wasn't needed, and also what we wish we'd have packed before we went.
Based on our trip, we were given an 80-litre duffel bag by G Adventures themselves the night before the trek, and we was told to keep that limit to 10 kilograms. We also carried a 30-litre day bag, which was filled with everything we would need for that day's hike.
Right, let's get on with it.
So first of all, we're going to start from the bottom of the body and work our way up to the top. Starting with, get yourself a good pair of hiking boots if you haven't already. These make the world of difference. Make sure they suit your feet and that you've broken them in before the trek as well, just to make sure that you won't have any blisters. Along with good hiking boots, I would recommend packing some baby powder, because what I was doing each morning before we set out on our hike, I would put some baby powder in my shoes, and that just prevents any smell really. So socks, I would recommend taking 4 pairs of hiking socks and 2 pairs of Teahouse socks, and keep them separate throughout the trek. So what I was doing was putting my hiking socks on in the morning, giving my feet a little baby wipe wash as well before I put them on, just to prevent any fungal infections. I was really conscious about that. So because I was conscious about that, I also took with us some Atheletes foot spray, and I was spraying with my feet with this every day, and I was also spraying my socks with this every day. Do a full day's hike, and then when we got to our tea house, I would wipe down my feet with baby wipes. You're going to need a lot of these. So I would wipe my feet down with baby wipes, do a little spray again with the Athlete's foot, maybe put some baby powder in my Teahouse socks just so they smelt a bit nicer and felt a bit more fresher. And yeah, I kept my hiking socks and Teahouse socks completely separate. Again, there's no specific hiking or walking socks that we recommend, it's just purely down to you and what suits your feet. Next up, we've got Yak Socks, which I bought in Namche Bazaar because my feet were freezing. If any of you guys are like me and have slow circulation, your feet are always cold, I'd highly recommend buying some Yak Socks. You can either get these from Kathmandu to pack in your bag before the trek, or you can just pick them up in Namche Bazaar, which is night too. Yeah, highly recommend these. They keep your feet toasty and they're just really comfortable to wear in the tea houses. As well as Yak Socks, if you just pack some sliders, these come in really handy, and they're also really comfortable just to walk around in the tea houses. At the end of the day, all you're going to want at the tea houses is to be comfortable and feel as clean as you can. To be honest, your feet won't get that sweaty because it's mainly cold on the trek.
Right, onto our legs, and my first item is thermal leggings. These come in really useful when you're near the top and the temperatures get really cool. Also, pretty good to sleep in. This next one I'd say is a must, waterproof over trousers. They just pack up nice and small and you never know when you need them. We actually used these further up the trail when it started to snow, and it just kept everything off us, kept inside nice and dry. 2 pairs of walking trousers. Pair number 1, I went for the winter trouser, fleece lined, really comfortable, keep the wind off, very useful as you get higher up. The temperatures at the start of the trek and at the end of the trek get to about mid 20 degrees Celsius, so you want something a bit lighter. Some might say a short. Yeah, I did want to get my legs out, so I bought a 2-in-1 summer hiking trouser which cuts off to a short. Shorts.
So adding on to what Nath just explained about the trouser situation, if you are a girl, I would recommend taking 2 pairs of sports leggings. Talking about being a girl, if you are a girl, one of the questions you probably have is how many pairs of pants do I pack? I packed 6 pairs of these pants, and what I did, which was really good and helpful, was I took some panty liners with me. So each day, you know, every night you can freshen yourself up just by changing the panty liners rather than changing like your whole pants, because you are limited for space. If you're unfortunate like me and Mother Nature does arrive, yeah, just also pack some sanitary pads, and in the toilets there's always bins provided for you to do what you gotta do. Again, when you're facing that situation, girls, baby wipes a must. Sorry boys if that made you feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna pass you over to Nath so he can man this thing up.
Alright then, yeah. Lads, you're going to want to take a crate of 24 sterile artois up there with you. Nah. You won't want that, just kidding. So the upper half of our body, it's really easy to pack too much, and I think I did a little bit, but I'm going to run through what I took anyway. So we've got 2 base layer thermals. One of them is a merino wool thermal, which just prevents any smell, so really recommend this, but I did wear both of them. Also, these are really good for sleeping in. 3 t-shirts, plus the one you're travelling. 2 lightweight fleeces. This was probably a bit unnecessary, but a luxury item. I took a hoodie. I wore this hoodie at the tea houses just so I had something clean or cleaner to change into. And yeah, it was just a bit of a luxury, but quite bulky to take with you. 1 soft shell jacket. And these are absolutely fantastic when you're going uphill and it's too hot to wear your down jacket. You can put one of these on and the soft shell just keeps all the wind off you, and I'm actually surprised how good these actually are. So then we have our down jacket. Going off information that we found before we did the trek, we both opted for an 800 downfill jacket, and I gotta say, these things are pretty damn toasty. They get a thumbs up from us.
Not forgetting 2 sports bras for the ladies. As well as keeping your body warm, keeping your hands warm is crucial as well. So we would recommend taking 1 pair of ski gloves, and we've got another pair of waterproof, I suppose they're like biker gloves. Yeah, they're useful as well just because they're waterproof. And also take 2 inners as well for your gloves, just because if one gets wet you can use the other, and nobody wants to have cold wet hands because it affects the rest of your body. Also, we'd recommend taking hand warmers as well, those ones that you just shake and they warm up as you shake them. Those are a must for BASECAMP day, even the day prior to BASECAMP day, and also for Calapatar if you choose to do Calapatar the morning after BASECAMP. We actually haven't got any to demonstrate to show because we run out of them because we used them all when we did the trek. Moving on to the face and head area, you will need to take a normal Snood. This will come in really handy on the start of your trek to just cover your mouth and keep out any of that dust and things like that, and it also prevents dehydration. Also, when it gets really cold, you're going to need one of these fleecy Snoods to cover your mouth, ears. You will definitely need a fleecy Snood and a woolly hat.
A head torch comes in useful at the tea houses if you decide to go to the toilet in the night, as most of the toilets are at the end of a dark corridor. Also, if you plan on doing Calapatar, you will need one of these as you'll be leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning. Lip balm to stop your lips drying out. You will definitely need a pair of sunglasses. These are a must. To go with the sunglasses, believe it or not, you will need sun cream.
For any of you guys who have got long hair, definitely remember to take a hairbrush and also hair bobbles as well, because you're going to want your hair off your face a lot of the time. And ladies, I'm not going to lie, mascara makes the world of difference. So now I'm going to talk you through some extras that you need to pack, which includes toiletries. I cannot stress enough about baby wipes. Please do take 1 to 2 packs of these. You will need them, especially not showering for 12 days. Face wipes, these are a bonus and something you will need to wipe off all that dirt from the day. I found it's pretty disgusting, but because of the dust and dirt when you're walking in the wind, your nostrils do get pretty grim. Toothbrush, toothpaste and mouthwash. Dry shampoo, I cannot stress enough how important this is on the trek. I started using this early on into the trek, I think it was like day 1, just put a bit in every day, and my hair, to be fair, after 13 days of not washing it, wasn't really too bad. Goes without saying, deodorant and sanitizer. I didn't pack enough of this. Please make sure you pack a lot of hand sanitizer. You can buy it at different stops throughout the trek, but yeah, take plenty of this. So I took a Shiwi with me and I did use this. It has been washed since. I use this at Le Boucher and at Warwickshire because it's so cold. I can't stress how cold it is at those places. So when you're desperate for a wee in the night and you really need to go, it's just much more comfortable to go in the shiwi, keep an empty bottle as well, go in the shiwi in your room, and then in the morning, yeah, just empty it down the toilet. Because the toilets at those places don't have very good lighting, so you would be going in the dark, and yeah, it's much more warmer and comfortable just to do it in your room. As disgusting as that sounds, it is the reality.
Just one more thing while we're on the subject.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Loo roll, good shout, Nath. You will need this.
I did forget to pack my dry shampoo, to be fair. Right, what we got here? 30 litre day bag. This, you just put your bottles of water, your coat, any snacks you got for the day. Obviously this is a pure essential. And to go with that, you will need a rain cover to fit said bag, just to keep all the snow off, keep everything inside nice and dry. Moving on to water bottles, we opted for the Life straw because it had the filter purification. It's a good thing to have, but not essential. So if you're going to Everest base camp and you think this is the only time you would ever use one of these, there's no need, because everywhere, even at Warwickshire, you can buy bottled water, and we still brought bottled water. And also you can get some water purification tablets. So we use this and the bottled water, and we didn't get it. One more thing to add as well, as you get closer to the top when it gets really cold, wrap these in some items of clothing because this actually froze up. Another big thing to think about when you're packing for your Everest base camp trek is 4-season sleeping bags. We took this one and we also hired one, so we can really go into this. Now this sleeping bag here has a comfort level of -2 and a limit of -9, and to be fair, this was absolutely perfect because you will be sleeping in your clothes as you get higher up. We had another sleeping bag which had a comfort level of about 2 degrees and a limit of about -4, and at the very last minute we decided to leave it at the hotel, hire one off G Adventures. I wouldn't recommend it. If you can, take your own, because this sleeping bag that we hired, I think it had been hired out 100 times before. It stunk and it just wasn't very comfortable, it just wasn't very nice to sleep in, so I'd really recommend going for something of your own, and for us personally it was absolutely perfect.
Next up, medication bag. It's surprising how much medication you can fit into this little bag. I'll talk you through it. So the obvious is just to take any medication that you need specifically for yourself. We did take paracetamol. We was really apprehensive about taking Diamox before we went. We thought, nah, we won't need it. We was really naive to it. But when I got to Namche Bazaar, which is over 3,400 metres, I started to feel the effects of the altitude and did pick up some Diamox from Namche Bazaar chemist, and yet they really do help. The only thing is there is a side effect where it makes your lips tingly and also your fingers tingly, just a pins and needles feel. Imodium, because you never know. Buscopan if you do suffer with IBS. Strepsils, cold and flu sachets, hay fever and allergy relief tablets. Vicks Vapor Rub, I would suggest that you use this at Le Boucher and at Warwickshire because those tea houses don't smell too nice, so just rubbing a bit of this under your nose gives you a nicer smell. Germaline, just in case you get any cuts. Jungle Formula spray and Jungle Formula bite and sting relief spray. Deep Heat, Bonjela, cystitis relief sachets, and Vagisil cream. We didn't specifically need to use all of this medication, but we had it there as a just in case, and I think, to be honest, I was a bit paranoid as well going on this trek that things wouldn't be available, but there is medication available at most places.
So let's take a look in our first aid bag. Disposable gloves, plasters, thermal blanket, triangular bandage or sling, a sewing kit, not for stitching ourselves up, for repairs on the clothes, scissors, sterile wound cleansing wipes, more bandages and more different sized plasters. Right, so now let's get technical. So you can charge your devices at pretty much every tea house across the trek, but the majority of places will charge you. It's about 600 rupees for an hour or per item depending where you are, so we'd really recommend taking a good power bank. This is the power bank we had, and we'll put a link in the description below. It's pretty good. We had about 4 to 5 phone charges off it and about 10 GoPro batteries off it, but the best thing about it is in the day we had it clipped to our rucksack, and believe it or not, even up there in a 7-hour day the solar panel still managed to grab some charge, which then allowed us to top up our mobile phones and charge 2 or 3 GoPro batteries on the night. At some of the tea houses you will have electric in your room, and there's no sort of general go-to with the sockets. Some have UK sockets, some have European sockets, some have American sockets. So our recommendation for you guys would be to take a multi-purpose adapter, and you won't get stuck then, plus have multiple USBs so you can charge a number of devices at the same time. Also, it goes without saying you'll want to take your phone for a camera, or even take a camera itself. You can do a bit of vlogging, get some nice photos, just capture all those wonderful memories while you're out there, because the scenery is fantastic. So you'll want a camera, and you'll probably want multiple backup memory cards as well. We took our laptop with us purely to just back up all the photos onto the external hard drive. It is possible, a bit of a hindrance, but it is possible if you want to take your laptop with you. And while we're on about electrics, I just want to give a quick tip, something we found useful. So on a night, it sounds stupid, but it is worth putting your phone, your camera, any spare batteries you have inside your sleeping bag, because it does get really cold in the room, and when electric's precious as it is, you do not want to be getting rid of any unnecessary charge. So keep them nice and warm in your sleeping bags, and also when you're walking in the day, any spare batteries, when the camera's not being used, just keep it wrapped up in a coat or anything you have in your day bag.
So another question you guys probably have is, will I need trekking poles? Me and Nath was unsure on what to do about trekking poles as well, but we did decide to hire a pair between the two of us, which worked really well for us. If you are a solo traveller, just hire the trekking poles anyway. They're absolutely dirt cheap, and they do just fold down real small if you don't use them, but they're always there if you need them.
Whenever we travel anywhere overseas, we always take with us our Monza card and our Revolut card, just because it gives us good exchange rates. In the pool, I'd recommend not taking this. We didn't really research anything before we went, but when we was over there, we found out that this card barely works anywhere. It works at Warwickshire, but that's about it. So if you're going to use card, Revolut works a lot better in the pool in general, but as well for the trek, recommend taking cash, because a lot of places take cash. So before you go, make sure you've got all the cash with you. Also, the Nepalese rupees are closed currency, so the only way we could actually draw cash from a bank account was to purchase it at the airport, or by drawing it from a cash point in Kathmandu, but a lot of these are a bit sketchy and don't work. So I'd recommend getting all the cash you need from the airport when you're travelling to Nepal.
Finally, we've got games, just little card games to take with you for the evening, because after your trek you do have a lot of downtime. It's really nice because there's no digital distractions. So going back to basics and taking playing cards, Uno, Trivial Pursuit, games like that, even the little snakes and ladders if you like. You'll just find what works for you, but yeah, games are a must.
Oh, I didn't realise we packed so much.
I know, it's amazing what you can cram into that bag.
I know. Right, so now we're right here, right where we started, and we've done the trek. What is the one item that you wish you would have packed that you didn't pack?
I would say pillowcases, and I know when you do research before you go on the packing list, take your own pillowcases, but I don't think before you go you realise how bad it's going to be, like the cleanliness of some of the tea houses further up the trek. And yeah, just bearing in mind how many people have slept on those pillows before you have, just yeah, take your own pillowcases, because it's your germs on the pillowcases then and not somebody else's. We did get around it by we put a pillow into our t-shirts, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just kept to one side a t-shirt. We just stuffed our pillow each night into the t-shirt. But yeah, pillowcase would have been much easier.
Yeah.
How about you?
So it's sort of two things, but it links into one. So the first one would be I'd have stuck to my guns and took my own sleeping bag and not hired it. But that then leads to fabric spray, because one of the girls on our trek, she heard us moaning about the smell of the hire sleeping bag. She lent us some fabric spray. Oh my god, it was just a little bottle, but it made such a big difference, didn't it? Just to freshen that sleeping bag up as much as you possibly could. Just made the nights a bit more comfortable.
It did, so we used it for that reason, but we could have took some and just used it to freshen up our own clothes as well.
Socks and shoes.
So fabric spray, that is a good shout, a good one to pack.
Yeah, so that's a wrap, guys, and we really hope this video is coming useful. We've recorded it because we want to help you guys get the most out of your trek, because I know it was a big thing for us before we did the trek. What we pack, and what do we actually need, and what don't we need, and what grade do we need. So we hope we've sort of covered that for you.
Yeah, Thanks for watching. Don't forget that you can find our full Everest BASECAMP trek on our channel under our EBC playlist. We just had the best time, and we wish you the best time as well going forward for your trek that you've got planned, or if you're thinking about it, just do it. Yep, and we hope that we prepared you in some sort of way for your trek.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, why not give us a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, why not hit that subscribe button, or even go back onto our channel, look on our playlist and check out some of our other videos. There'll be a lot more videos like this coming up, and also a lot more exciting bucket list vlogs in the future. See you guys.
Bye.